Buddhism contains an excellent moral code, including one for the monks and another for the laity, but it is much more than an ordinary moral teaching. Morality, sila, is only the preliminary stage and is a means to an end, but not an end in itself. Though absolutely essential, it alone does not lead to one's deliverance or perfect purity. It is only the first stage on the path of purity. Beyond morality is wisdom, panya. The base of Buddhism is morality, and wisdom is its apex. Just as a pair of wings complement each other on a bird, these two virtues work in harmony. Wisdom is like a man's eyes, morality is like his feet. One of the appellatives of the Buddha is Vijakarana Sampanna, endowed with wisdom and conduct. Thus, the journey begins with the cultivation of ethical behavior, but it reaches its zenith only when the wisdom of true insight arises, leading to the cessation of suffering. In this way, morality serves as the foundation of a much greater process, one that transcends mere ethical goodness and culminates in enlightenment. Of the four noble truths that form the foundation of Buddhism, the first three represent the philosophy of the Buddha's teaching, while the fourth represents the ethics of Buddhism based on that philosophy. Morality in Buddhism is not founded on any doubtful divine revelation, nor is it the ingenious invention of an exceptional mind, but it is a rational and practical code based on verifiable facts and individual experience. In the opinion of Prof. Max Miller, the Buddhist moral code is one of the most perfect that the world has ever known. The morality of Buddhism does not demand blind faith nor submission to the whims of an external force. Rather, it is a logical framework that encourages self-examination, mindfulness, and a deep understanding of causes and effects. In Buddhism, the individual bears responsibility for their own path, and their liberation lies in their own hands. Prof. Rhys David says, "Buddhist or not Buddhist, I have examined every one of the great religious systems of the world, and in none of them have I found anything to surpass in beauty and comprehensiveness the Noble Eightfold Path of the Buddha. I am content to shape my life according to that path." The Noble Eightfold Path serves as an unshakable guide, addressing the full spectrum of human life, from ethical conduct to mental discipline to wisdom. It unites all aspects of human experience in pursuit of a singular goal, liberation from suffering. It is interesting to note that according to Buddhism, there are deeds which are ethically good and bad, deeds which are neither good nor bad, and deeds which tend to the ceasing of all deeds. Good deeds are essential for one's emancipation, but when once the ultimate goal of the holy life is attained, one transcends both good and evil. The Buddha says, righteous things, Dhamma, you have to give up. How much more the unrighteous things, Adhamma. Thus, even the noble teachings so highly regarded in the path must be abandoned when one reaches the final liberation. They are vehicles meant to be used to cross the flood of suffering, and then left behind when one steps upon the other shore of Nibbana. The deed that is associated with attachment, lobha, ill will, dosa, and delusion, moha, is evil. That deed which is associated with non-attachment, alobha, goodwill, adosa, and wisdom, panya, is good. The deeds of an arahant, a stainless one, possess no ethical value as he has gone beyond both good and evil. This does not mean that he is passive. He is active, but his activity is selfless and directed toward helping others tread the path he has walked. His deeds, ordinarily accepted as good, lack creative power in relation to himself. Unlike the actions of a worldling, his actions do not affect him through karmic consequences. An arahant, having eradicated the seeds of attachment and ignorance, is free from the binding nature of kama. While his actions are wholesome, they no longer generate future consequences for him. His existence is a radiant expression of boundless compassion and wisdom, yet he is no longer subject to the cycles of birth and death. What is the criterion of morality according to Buddhism? The answer is found in the admonition given by the Buddha to young Samanera Rahula. If there is a deed, Rahula, you wish to do, reflect thus. Is this deed conducive to my harm or to others' harm, or to that of both? Then is this a bad deed entailing suffering? From such a deed you must refrain. If there is a deed you wish to do, reflect thus. Is this deed not conducive to my harm, nor to others' harm, nor to that of both? Then is this a good deed entailing happiness? Such a deed you must do again and again. Thus, Buddhism's morality is deeply rooted in reflection and empathy. It is not a matter of blind adherence to rules, but of understanding the consequences of one's actions for oneself and others. This mirrors the Buddha's emphasis on wisdom intertwined with compassion. In assessing morality, a Buddhist takes into consideration the interests both of himself and others, animals not excluded. In the Karaniya Metta Sutta, the Buddha exhorts, "As a mother protects her only child even at the risk of her own life, so too should one cultivate boundless thoughts of loving kindness toward all beings." The Dhammapada states, "All fear punishment, to all life is dear. Comparing others with oneself, let one neither hurt nor kill." Verse 129. These teachings highlight the universal aspect of Buddhist ethics. All sentient beings are worthy of kindness, and the compassionate heart is the very essence of the Dharma. To understand the exceptionally high standard of morality the Buddha expects from his ideal followers, one must carefully read the Dhammapada, Sigalovada Sutta, Vyagapaja Sutta, Mangala Sutta, Metta Sutta, Parabhava Sutta, Vasala Sutta, Dhammika Sutta, etc. These texts offer a deep well of wisdom that elucidates how one may live a life of ethical purity, mindfulness, and wisdom, leading not only to personal well-being, but also to the ultimate goal of liberation. As a moral teaching, it excels all other ethical systems, but morality is only the beginning, not the end of Buddhism. The true aim of Buddhism is not merely moral perfection, but the complete liberation of the mind from all forms of suffering. This path encompasses ethics, wisdom, and ultimately the profound realization of Nibbana. In one sense, Buddhism is not a philosophy. In another sense, it is the philosophy of philosophies. In one sense, Buddhism is not a religion. In another sense, it is the religion of religions. If you found value in this discussion and want to continue exploring the depth and wisdom of Buddhism, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Cultivating Buddhism, and share your thoughts in the comments. May the teachings of the Buddha bring you peace and guide you on your path to enlightenment.